Hello and welcome to another episode of A Fresh Perspective here on Heavenward Thinking. Today we're continuing on in Luke chapter 10. We're going to be finishing off this chapter looking at verses 38 through 42. So I'll read it and we'll get right into this week's conversation. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." As we look at this section, what can we see here with a fresh perspective today?
I think, I love this section because I draw out of it this idea that we do not work for God, we work with God. Right? And so again, God is not winding you up at the beginning of the day and sending you out to do all the things he wants you to do. God is out about doing things, and he's asking you to join him. Right? And there are times where we need to work. There are times where we need to get things done, where God's doing something, like, hey, we need to, but there are times where we're just to sit at the feet of Jesus and do nothing, just as she listened. Right? So the fresh perspective is, if we want to work with God, and God is asking us to sit, then we need to sit and do something, right? Which is listen to what Jesus said. There's such great value in listening.
Absolutely. I think a lot of us as Christians, we fall into this trap of wanting to do great things for God, wanting to do amazing ministry things, and we even will help other people do all these extraordinary things, build all these great ministries for the Lord, and sometimes we forget to take a moment to actually listen to the Lord. As you mentioned, as we see in this passage, it's important for us to be near Jesus, to be working with Jesus, not just for Jesus. We need to understand what he wants us to do, what he's teaching us, what he's telling us, what he's leading us forward, so that we don't just go off and do our own thing and build this great ministry for Jesus, where he actually wants us to be over here doing this instead. We need to make sure that we are listening to him, and then he's going to send us out to do things.
Yeah, well, again, what does Jesus say here? It's basically, Martha, what you're doing is not as important as what she's doing. Come and join her, right? And again, we are like this all the time. We want God to send us help and fix it. And don't you care that I'm doing all this work for you and nobody else is doing anything else? Either we've chosen or someone else has chosen better. Right? What we want to do is be about choosing the better thing. Right? That's the whole concept. The whole point is, in every moment, what's the better thing to be doing, right? Sometimes, when somebody walks in to talk to us and we're busy, the better thing is to say to them, "I'm really busy at this moment," right? But sometimes the better thing is to say, "Nothing. Listen to them. Stop working. Do what, like what's in that moment." But you need to be in tune with God to know moment to moment, what does this moment get? Because there are people who'll just waste your time, right? They'll sit and listen forever because they don't want to go help Martha, and they don't want to work, and they don't want to do those things, right? But there are times where it's not being lazy to be in tune with Jesus and be where he is. That's the better thing all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. The best thing we can do, or the better thing here, is to always be where Jesus is. And so if we want to do great things with Jesus, if we want to do amazing things in ministry, if we want to reach people with Jesus, the best way we can do that is by being, as you said, in tune with Jesus, knowing where he is, being where he is. He's going to help us do great things. He's going to help us in the activities we have in life and all the different things on our list, all the preparations that have to be done, all the things like Martha had to do. He's going to help us in those moments, but he asks us to simply listen to him, to simply be near, sit at his feet, and listen to him.
Perfect.
Well, we hope that you've been encouraged and challenged by this, and that you'll sit and listen to Jesus this week as he guides you in each aspect of your day. As always, join us next time for another episode of A Fresh Perspective here on Heavenward Thinking.